Episode of Random Life on Monday. And today I thought that I would use more and more the Random Life section of my work as to continue talking about my life and how I do things. Because when I started my life coaching journey and leaving the humanitarian sector, I did this blog post about life outside of a career job, and I have been talking about what's going on and how I'm dealing with things, so what things I'm working on every month. And I remember having a lot of people having interest in that and talking, like asking me questions. And that's why I thought that I would do that more often so you can see all the things that I'm working on, how I'm working on them, and maybe you want to ask specific questions about my life and how I'm navigating things outside of a humanitarian sector. So if you have any questions about me personally, let me know. And I would love to answer any of this so that it can be useful for you to when you're considering your own journey of whether to leave the humanitarian sector or maybe even stay, but designing your life intentionally the way you want to. Maybe there will be some ideas that will be helpful. So I haven't really talked about the goals that I have set for this year. So I want to touch upon that. And also I wanted to just take time to talk on the things that I continue working on, that I continue getting coached on, and why I do that so that you can maybe see where my work is, right? Where I continue getting coached and how I coach my clients because I have done this work on myself so much. So before I do that though, I wanted to take a few seconds to a minute to celebrate amazing results that my clients and I have been creating. And these are actually the like results that were not even the main goals of my clients. But I have several of my clients quitting smoking, which for me was amazing side effect of what we're working on. So I'm so proud of them. I have also several clients start dating and even thinking about having children. So I'm so proud of them as well for all the work that they have done. And of course, their trust with me to have done this work together. And I wanted to take this time to celebrate. I think with many of my clients, what we work on is every time we discuss about, okay, who do we want to be on the other side of having accomplished that goal, right? Whatever the goal is, who do we want to become on this other side of having accomplished that goal? And in the end, it doesn't even become like about the goal itself, but rather how we have grown and what we have accomplished and how we have learned about ourselves so much. And we talk about a lot about with my clients around this, and also how they are the people who are showing to themselves that they can go through struggles, they can go through setbacks and go back up and get back up to continue going towards what they want to. And I'm so happy that I get to do this work with them to really help them learn that skill of uh, experiencing failures, experiencing setbacks, and then going back up and continue working towards what they want to go instead of giving up, right? So that has been one of the biggest work that we have done with many of my clients and continue doing it. So for me, as a life update, if you will, is the goal that I have set this year has been a bit different than any other goals that I have set in the past. And the reason for that is that I really explored this year how can I set goals where it's not because I want to prove something to myself or to other people, because in the past it has been a lot about, okay, I need to prove that I can do this. I need to prove that I'm good at this, or I need to show that I'm actually capable, right? So it has been a lot of this proving energy, and I feel like it has helped me in getting to very high levels in so many ways in my previous career as a humanitarian and now as well. And this year, I really wanted to set the goals so that on the other side, when I have achieved those goals, I become the person who has these characteristics, and I will list them out, like tell it to you now because I have written them down and I really want to focus on them and setting the goal, not because I need to prove things, even though I feel like I'm actually good at doing that, but rather so that on the other side, I become the person that has these characteristics. And the characteristics that I'm really working towards is committed, consistent, thorough. Thorough is a big one, you all. I have been working a lot on how I can do things in a thorough manner, how I can think things through in a thorough manner. And I have been working a lot on becoming the person who makes things thoroughly or thinks things thoroughly, right? So this has been my work, and the other one is feeling powerful. This is, I really want to become the person who is bold and powerful, feeling powerful, right? Not in the way that um, makes other people powerless, but rather feeling myself powerful, seeing myself in my power, and seeing other people in their power as well. I really want to contribute to that society of equals where we feel equal, and I really want to model that in with my own life. I also want to become the mature entrepreneur this year. I feel like up until now, it has been a lot of testing and trying this way and trying that way. And now it is the fourth year that I'm out of the humanitarian sector, that I have been working on my journey of becoming a life coach and accompanying so many amazing people. And this year, I have the goal of accompanying more than 30 people. Actually, maybe it will be even close to 100 because I'm working with groups as well. So it's so exciting to do that work. And I would like to approach this year with so much maturity. I would also like to do things where I really create things in the big way, create results in big way, and not only helping my clients get to knowing their emotions and get to understanding and how to process and handle their emotions and manage their emotions, but also what is the power and impact of doing that and what results they can achieve for themselves in their lives by understanding and managing their emotions well. And therefore, I really want to work with my clients to big goals and whatever that big is for them, right? So I have clients, for instance, who are going for big promotions. I have clients who are going for representative positions. I have clients who are uh, like leaving the humanitarian sector altogether and starting their own business. I have clients who are um, focusing on being a mother, being a father, and fully immersing themselves in those big projects, right? So that's why I really want to focus this year with my clients to becoming the person who creates big results, whatever that big for my clients are, and what are the big results for myself. And I will talk about this in a minute. So I really want to become that person who can accompany my clients in those big ways, as well as accompany myself through this creation of big results, not in the way of like hustling or in the way of proving or in the way of look how great I am way, but rather in the way of learning so much about myself in new ways, learning about myself, doing these things because I really use this as a way to grow. For instance, a lot of the problems that I will be solving along the way how I can become the person who solve these problems without suffering too much, right? How can I solve it in the way that's not personal about me, but rather about the problem that I'm solving? And how can I do that? And how can I help my clients as well suffer less for things that are unnecessary, but rather focus on creating that big goal? And that's really what I want to focus on. And therefore, I have been getting a lot of coaching myself around this topic as well, as to how not to dodge those difficulties or like avoid those difficulties or fear those difficulties, but rather, okay, let's go into them more. Let's understand those difficulties more, right? In other words, why are they considered so difficult for my brain, for my body? Why do I think that they are hard? And why do I believe that I can't handle those hard, difficult situations? Which is not true, right? Because as a humanitarian, I have handled a lot of difficult situations. As a human, I have handled a lot of difficult situations. So therefore, why, when I transition to becoming my own boss, becoming my own uh, like coach and why do I think now it's very difficult, and therefore understanding those like difficult situations and how do I come on the other side feeling even more powerful rather than feeling depleted or beaten up or feeling um, criticized or like by myself, right? So I'm really studying this so much currently. So this is the work that I'm doing on my own brain is that, okay, here are the difficulties that my brain believes are the difficulties or obstacles that my brain believes the obstacles when I go for big dreams. And then I start learning those difficulties instead of avoiding them, instead of fearing or shying away from them, or instead of like, oh my God, I really hope that it will not be happening again, right? I really hope that I will not be suffering again from this, or I really hope that once this difficulty and I go over this or I go through this, then hopefully it will never happen again, kind of thing. I don't think it will ever be that way because life, as I have seen in my own life and in many of my clients' life, is there will always be difficulties, opportunities for us to struggle, for us to suffer. But the question is it the suffering that we're wanting, or it's the suffering that we are imposing on ourselves so unnecessarily because we don't have the ability to manage our emotions, or we haven't really had the chance to work through these problems with other people, right? So therefore, my job, I feel like this year is not only creating big dreams in my own life, but with my clients, but also really studying those difficulties and obstacles that my brain believes are obstacles, and then going through them powerfully, going through to the other side, feeling like proud that I have done it instead of, oh my God, I hope it will never happen again. Do you see what I'm saying? I hope you got my point. So this is the main work that I want to do in individual setting with my individual clients as well as with my group clients. And I'm even now, today I actually had a meeting with another amazing entrepreneur here in Italy, and we were thinking about how to open entrepreneurial space for female entrepreneurs here in Italy, in English, obviously, and how we can really support each other in this journey of growing, in this journey of overcoming difficulties, in this journey of really, like, as a result, understanding ourselves better, right? So, therefore, we are starting something with her, something that we will start in Italy. I think even like as of February, that will be a regional that we're thinking for the region of Italy and Slovenia, Croatia, Serbia. These are the regions we're thinking about. So I'm very excited about that project. And I'm also excited about my retreats that I'm going to be hosting. As you may have seen, that I want to, like, this year is another project that I really want to focus on, is meeting people in person. I would love to meet more people in person and doing this work of coaching together in person. And therefore, I'm even thinking of meeting my individual clients in like in person in a city that we choose, and then I will just use that as an excuse to go and see my clients, or maybe we like create retreat together with my clients individually as well as in groups. I have plans for doing some retreats in even in Singapore. I'm exploring this option because I really always wanted to go to Singapore, and I thought, what's a better way of going to Singapore than actually doing a retreat with people and then going there? So that would be amazing to do that. That's in terms of like the big goals that I'm thinking about for my work, with my clients, with entrepreneurs. So I'm doing coaching mostly, but then also a bit of mentoring. So that's in terms of work. And in terms of my personal life, so many of you maybe have heard, or if you haven't, so my husband and I, we have decided that half of the year we live in Italy and half of the year we live in Kyrgyzstan, where I come from. And currently we're in Italy, but we would like to live in Kyrgyzstan for half the year. So we're about to go to Kyrgyzstan hopefully soon, maybe sometime in February is our goal. And then we have our home is being renovated and getting ready. So we're actually hopefully going to move in this year. This is the goal in Kyrgyzstan. And then, yeah, and then I will do a bit of traveling. I was thinking of traveling maybe to Kenya this year. This is in my heart, like for some time. Kenya, Ethiopia. I had invitations for Mozambique, so I'm thinking about these countries for now. So let's see how that traveling will emerge. And by the end of the year, I have plans to go to Switzerland, and yeah, and to US as well. So these are the traveling plans that I have thought of for this year. Um, yeah, and I feel like in terms of like the goals and life updates, this is what has been happening. I keep getting coached on my brain regularly, every week, several times a week, sometimes even. And every time I get very granular on what are the topics that I'm really working on and what are the specific changes I need to make. And I start making changes. This year, I have also been spending more and more time to evaluate my own journey, evaluate especially what are the ways things are working well, what are the ways things are not working well, and how can I make it work better. This is the work that I have been doing a lot. Um, and I have been also like seeing how I can do this troubleshooting on my own without really feeling panic or feeling like, oh my God, I can't do this or whatever, but rather, okay, getting into looking at the data, looking at the my emotions and my drama around it, and then getting coached around it, and then identifying where my growth is, right, and how I can grow. And I see that my growth has been lately in having debates and discussions with people where I don't really get triggered, and I lose all the things that I wanted to say, but rather having healthy debates. This is what I have been working on. Another area that I have been working on is that with friendships, I have gained through my husband's circle. I have gained a lot of new friendships, especially in Italy. And I always had this feeling of like being a bit withdrawn or being a bit not really proactively interacting with those people, right? And I feel like this year is going to be the year where I want to proactively and more engage with people now that I speak Italian well, and I can do that without really like feeling, okay, am I speaking right or whatever, right? It will no longer be the focus the language, but rather focus the humans and having those connections to those people. So that will be the focus of how I can more engage with friends. I have my amazing friends in Germany and I want to spend more time with them. So you can see that I have a lot of amazing goals and intentions and things that I'm working on. And I really wanted to update you on these so that you can stay up to date as to what I'm working on, what mindset I'm working on, and what I'm able to do well and where I still need a lot of the work. So that is for 2024, and I really hope that we will get a chance to meet and you come to coaching with me, and maybe we will even have opportunities to do this work in person. And that's really what I'm trusting that this year will bring is not only online connections, which I love, but also connections in person. So I'm so looking forward to it. And thank you so much for allowing me to share what's going on in my life and how I'm seeing or what I'm working on in 2024. And I can't wait to answer any of your questions, or if you have coaching questions, let me know. I would love to coach you. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful week ahead of you, and I'll speak to you very soon.